So where would BelongCon be without its very own burlesque performer? I mean, you have to ask yourself, don't you, really? So here to share her story tonight is the incredible Vanessa Barrett, aka Coco Deville, a critically acclaimed, award-winning burlesque performer. She's not actually going to perform burlesque tonight, I have to just say that. I'm giving this massive build-up. So if you are hoping for burlesque, I'm afraid not tonight, though I'm sure she can tell you about other places that she'll be performing on other nights. But actually tonight, Vanessa is here to bare her soul. And she's going to share how being part of the burlesque community and the art of performance helps us to discover who we truly are. Thank you. Let's hear it from Vanessa.
Hello. Yeah. Cool. So, lovely introduction there. But we're going to just rewind back and firstly, just think of the word artist or being a creative. We tend to think of those who dedicate their lives pursuing just matters of the heart. We think of those people who relish ignoring things like practicality and logic. We think of artists as those gifted few that have that courage and that confidence. We think of the world of the creative artist is to be approached with mystery, but I can assure you that is definitely not the case. The joy of art and embracing the creative mind is for everybody. Myself, standing as a fully fledged member of the artistic community for about coming up to 20 years now, and that started from afternoons with my mum dancing to disco while we're cleaning the house, to Saturday afternoons at my sort of local youth theatre, and then this sort of was topped with my BA honours degree at a place called Dartington, which is quite a renowned place for its unique sort of teaching methods and practices. And I was honoured to be surrounded by some of the most ingenious and innovative minds of a particular generation. So culturally, academically and socially, I've had the fortune to be engulfed in all things creative. And at present, from my wonderful introduction, I am an international award-winning cabaret performer of 10 of my 20 artistic years. And this originally stemmed from my interest in feminist performance art theory. And so despite archaic views towards the use of nudity, I found that cabaret and burlesque as an art form stands as a proud movement, promoting body positive culture and being mentally empowered. And that translates from the performer and within all the audience members. And it's truly inspiring to be part of that community. My work has given me the ability to become a chameleon. I have to adapt in every sort of environment that I'm placed in. So from deeply glamorous, opulent venues to crazy hen party events to adding a little bit of glitz and glamour in community centres performing for the elderly. So from here I've seen how my creativity, one person's creativity, can ripple and essentially influence people from different walks of life. So just to kind of rewind, can I just get a hands up, anyone who has children or anyone who has like young kids whirling around them at all? Like just like little bundles of joy that's around you. Okay, cool. So we're all familiar with that moment that an excitable child comes to you with their energy and they're so eager to show you their latest creation, and you look at them and you kind of look at the sheer absurdity of what they've made you, and then you look at them again and you see how happy they are, and you see how happy they are to share that moment with you, and you become happy, and it's a beautiful relationship from there. And if we're honest with ourselves, we can all remember being that kid, that moment where tapping into that pleasure of release, of expressing ourselves, is actually our instinctual go-to. But however, as we get older, we become more mature, this sort of open-minded, playful approach to the world gradually gets bred out of us. It becomes ridiculed and repressed, It's like, stop being so childish, why don't you just grow up? So, and it does make sense, literacy and numeracy placed in my opinion, the unnatural format of examination are the full focus of our education system. Uniform and conformity is essentially the be-all and end-all of life, you know? Study hard, get good grades, get a good job, get lots of money, get the house. And, you know, if you look back at a generation ago, that was the ideal. It worked. The template of the blue-collar sort of factory worker was a normality for many people. And with this, art and other subjects that promoted free thought and innovation was treated as frivolous or as a luxury. However, if we look now to our generation, we're led by technology and we're led by media. And if you know, the pioneers of these industries are actually the ones that slipped through the conformist netting. They're the ones that actually not only thought outside the box, they stood outside the box and recreated the box and created something completely new that just stands out. They're now essentially the ones in charge. The creative mind is now welcomed with open arms and an open mind in our society. Okay, so Michelle Root Bernstein said, just about anything we can do can be addressed in a creative manner. So essentially you don't have to set limitations on yourself to adopt a more creative lifestyle. So there's a concept of being too old or not having any money or whatever can be cast aside because essentially becoming more creative is essentially taking responsibilities for your actions, addressing them and reflecting them in a conscious way. So an example, simple as picking up a pen, picking up a piece of paper and doodling and seeing what imagery comes out. And if you're not in a position to doodle, just do, before you go to bed, just write down certain things that stood out in the day, certain words, certain images, whatever, just write it. And then you'll see how the ink can translate your mental state and let you express yourself in a completely different way that you never realised. Another example, for those who might need a little bit more help, just go and throw yourself into the deep end and watch a full-blown creative in their natural habitat. Go and see a gig, go and see a theatre, go and see the ballet, go and see the cabaret, and just sit and allow yourself to observe. And with Brighton Fringe just around the corner, nobody in this room has an excuse. Okay. Just support your local artists, welcome touring companies, enjoy and be inspired by their work that they're wishing to share with you. And if for any reason none of these options are doable, just allow yourself to sit still, let your mind wander, fantasize, daydream, and create a world just for you. As I said before, don't set limitations, because essentially being creative is a constant journey. There's no time limit, so essentially there's no perfect start time. Just by simply increasing the rate of including creative flourishes into your daily life, the more it will actually become your default. We need reminding that we all have the power of free thought and the ability of self-expression, whether essentially it's in sorry, go back to my notes. In our society, in our culture, it's actually our right. And it's not dedicated just for an elite few. Being artistic, being creative isn't just being a prima ballerina. It isn't just paint and clay. It's singing a freestyle, a song about bubbles while you're washing up. It's taking a picture of your dog while he's asleep, because in that moment of time, under the sunlight, he looks like he's made out of gold. You know, we are creatures of habit, and that's okay. It's okay to feel comfortable and have that desire to feel accepted, to gain that sense of belonging. However, we do need to hold tight to the imagination, because that's what actually picks us up when we find ourselves in a rut. I feel in my wonderful profession, being a performer and being an artist, and I am dedicated to my practice. But from there, I feel that everybody should at least embrace being a little bit artistic every day, to hold a sense of identity. Because from there, you become more engaged and you become stimulated with the world, because it allows you to become more responsive to your surroundings. When you break out of your habits, It allows you to readdress, it allows you to recalculate and re-establish your morals and attitudes and beliefs. You become more empathic since you're actually pushed into the deep end to look with a new perspective. So, I really encourage you to just take the moment to stop in our busy days. Just take one moment to stop and take a moment to look at inside yourself and cultivate your personal creativity, and then from whatever way you see fit, display to the world how truly individual and wonderful you are.